Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. Don't worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying warm. I'm very cold. I didn't know this. I know that you have a CPAP. I just got a CPAP. I'm in like my third consecutive day of using said CPAP. And for whatever reason, like I got a really good score last night, but I feel like I didn't get really good sleep last night. So I'm very confused as to why that is. So not as peppy as I was the other couple days.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess it's just adjusting to being on the CPAP or something. Not sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to adjust to, honestly. I mean, just wearing it, just having it on your face is one, the noise is two, and then that dry air, if it runs out, like if the water's not right or doesn't have enough humidity or too much humidity. It's really odd to get used to. But once you get used to it, it's especially when you have a cold. This is the best thing for me when I have a cold because
Oh
it'll
yeah.
keep my nose open all night and I'll be able to sleep better. So it's really helpful, but yeah, it's an adjustment for sure.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me a whole lot being on my face, but the airflow, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to some of that stuff, but I mean, regardless, like falling asleep, like I'm tracking it on my watch and it seems, I'm only waking up a couple of times a night versus 5 or 6 times a night.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I'm like I said, I don't know for whatever reason. I don't know if I was just moving around a bunch or what the deal was, but maybe it was just all the excitement from last night's national championship win for my Hoosiers. But I don't know.
Wore you out, huh?
Wore me out. Yeah, yeah.
Too old to celebrate the game anymore.
I guess.
Have
I
to
don't know.
stretch before cheering.
It was fun. I went to a local brewery where everybody there was IU alumni, which was pretty cool being as far away from Bloomington, Indiana as I am to be around like a couple hundred IU
Oh
fans.
wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was packed. It was packed out. It was awesome. And then I watched the first half there and then came home and watched the second half at the house so I wasn't around if things erupted in any
Hmm.
kind of way. I was like, I don't need to be around that. So, but yeah, it was a good night last night. So, but
Good.
yeah.
Glad for you and your team and your fellow Hoosiers.
Yeah, we were discussing what's a Hoosier. It's literally somebody from Indiana.
Yeah, it started and you showed off your very nice
Yeah,
Indiana
this,
hoodie, and all it says is Indiana. So for me, I'm like,
yep.
cool. It's a great state, I guess. Oh, it's a team. Oh, what's the team name? Oh, Hoosiers. Yeah, I'd heard that one. Of course, it was the movie too. That's probably where I heard it.
That would be
That
where a lot
was
of people have heard it from. Yeah, the high
that was
school
back in the
basketball
1900s.
team.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
the
for
Milan.
those who
Yeah,
might not remember.
it's all good. It's all good. I get it. I know you're not a sports ball guy.
But I mean, and I'm happy for you. I really am, and for your team. That's great. I know it is a competition, and I know it is definitely something they put it all out. Like they say, leave it out there on the field,
Yeah.
and it's very impressive.
Well, they're the only, or they're the, yeah, it's been a while since this happened, but they went 16-0. So
Hmm.
they undefeated. It's pretty cool. So,
Well, it was
I
this
don't-
year.
yeah,
You mean? All right. Yeah,
yeah, they
I'd
went.
not heard that.
Yeah, their coach came in last year and they lost 2 games last year. And then this year they went 16-0.
Wow.
So,
Good
yeah,
job.
our quarterback won the Heisman Trophy. Like it
Oh,
was,
cool.
yeah, it was a stellar year all around. So it was really cool. But and they actually hold a really cool. You now holds a really cool sports trivia record because they are the only school to have a undefeated national championship winning basketball team
Hmm.
and a football team. Like they both because and it was and there's a 50-year gap. In 76, the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team won the national championship with a 13-0 record.
Wow.
So 50 years later, the football team comes through and does a 16-0.
We finally made it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah, 139 years of the losingest team. So they were the worst team in
Oh goodness.
football to now winning a national championship. So it was a huge deal. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sure that
coming up from the bottom. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I'm sure that the university is just buzzing today. So I know they
Hmm.
were last night. It was
Yeah.
wild, but
So
it's
you went
exciting to be
out
around
to
this.
watch the game rather than staying home, right?
For the
You went out.
first half, I did. Yeah. For the second half, I came home and watched it at home. So,
Hmm.
which was nice. I don't mind being around a whole bunch of people, for a little while for something like that, but it doesn't have the same, I guess, feeling as you did when I was younger, where it's just you want to be around everybody type of deal. Plus, I was there. I didn't know anybody else that was there. Everybody was there with people for the most part. So
Yeah.
I made small talk with a few people, but at the same time, I was just like, "Yep, I'm gonna go." I thought maybe I might run into somebody I knew there, but not the case. So that's okay. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So having that watch it at home experience, of course, as parents and especially as full time, primary caretaker and all that, or caregiver, sorry. I wonder what that experience is like. Do you share that with your kids? Do you like get them, into it? I think most families would, but
not so much for them in this case, just because we don't watch a whole lot of college football in general here in the house.
okay. All right.
And so they knew what was going on. Like I had told them, but they went to bed. No, they weren't asking to stay up or anything like that. It wasn't like, if the Bengals were, in the Super Bowl kind of deal. But yeah, I
Gotcha.
mean, Corey was making fun of me and also at the same time like cheering me on, like just being happy for me that what was up. And she was working downstairs and I was just kind of updating her through text message, like what was going on with the scores and stuff like that. But she knew something was up when I started jumping up and down and the lights downstairs started shaking.
Something's going on. He's wrestling
Yeah,
again. Nope.
yeah.
Game time.
So yeah, so it was an
That's awesome.
exciting night last night. Yeah, definitely. But now it's, blistering cold. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about the weather, guys, but we're not going to get completely into it. But you knew it was going to happen. You knew we couldn't keep that floodgate closed forever. But yeah, like it's cold outside and trying to find things to do with the kids can be interesting because I mean like even yesterday we were
Yeah.
off school for Martin Luther King Day and it was like, okay, like what are we gonna do? Well, it's frigid, it's ridiculously cold. I'm really not gonna take the kids and do a march of any kind. And we did talk about Martin Luther King and talked a little bit about just, some of the things going on in the country, just to have a conversation about that a little bit, see where they were on it. And then I was like, let's go to a trampoline park. We have a gift card to go do that. And so one of my buddies, he was like, "Hey, I really need to sit down and talk with you." And I was like, "Awesome." I was like, "Why don't you come with me and we can sit and talk and the kids can run around." And so kind of just enjoyed that. He's a new dad and a little bit of a just he's in a bit of a situation because he's not married is it's kind of a baby mama situation, and so he was just looking for somebody to bounce ideas off of. So we sat there and chatted about that. But it's nice that there are places like that to be able to take kids to when it's freezing out because they need to expel all that energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. The trampoline place is a little bit far away for us to hit it with any regularity, but the kids loved it. And
Yeah.
I really have learned really two lessons. One is you have to have their socks, their
Oh, I
grippy
know.
bottom socks. And
So
I'm like,
annoying.
what, I mean, yes, they have socks, but do they have our
Grippy
socks? I'm
socks,
like,
grippy
what?
socks or grippy socks. It can't be from
Yeah.
another company. It's got to be from theirs. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So actually have a little like quart size baggie in the laundry room, on the way to the garage, just sitting there with all the nice. It's kind of like a pale blue with yellow stripes. It's a weird color combination, but just in case. But I learned, yeah, they have their own socks. That's funny. And yeah. And then if you're going to jump on the trampoline and you're over 30, you should stretch first.
Yeah, I bet.
It's hands down. You've reached a point in your life where no, you really have to stretch. And I have people that may or may not be listening to this particular podcast who hurt themselves, got on it with their kids. I was young, I'm feeling fine. Oh God. Oh yeah. Yeah, there it
Yep.
is. There it is.
That jump and that compression in your spine, like
We're
those.
just not
no.
used to it. Yeah. Especially if you sit a lot, which, that's its own issue. But yeah, those are the two things. I didn't get on any of the trampolines when I went. I could do it now, but at the time I was too fat. I was too heavy, I should say. I was overweight. So I didn't get on any of the jumps with them. And I definitely didn't do, they have the climbing area kind of. It's not really, it's like a ninja course climbing where you go,
Oh,
you
yeah.
walk
Yep.
the chains, the little discs on the bottom you stand on and all that stuff. I wanted to do those just to see how hard I'd fall because there's no way I don't have the balance to do that stuff. But I didn't. But there's a foam pit, of course,
Yep.
with basically padded, I would say 6x6 post or so. I mean, the big
Yep.
size that you walk across with the double-ended staff, the staff with the two, got a punching bag on each end or whatever.
Oh, like a jousting thing from American Gladiators.
Oh wow, I don't remember that well enough, but yeah, probably. Yeah, they use them you see them a lot of time in basic training or
Yeah.
like posts and what have you. It's just there you're trying to hit somebody without hurting them, and of course this is what the kids do on that thing over a
course.
pit. And I'm like, if they had this when I was a kid, I would have loved that. And of course, most of them, they'll get, most of them aren't trying to knock each other off unless it's, siblings, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But, like other kids, like bonk, bonk, bonk. And then one will like, and intentionally fall off into the pit. And that's all well and good. That's great. Two things, though. You don't, as an adult, want to fall in that pit because there's not a ladder to get out. You have to find the edge and it's over 6 feet deep. Okay. And I know this because I saw a lady fall in with her kid and she was done. And we had to get an attendant and then another attendant and the three of us
wow.
helped her out. Yeah. Because not
Somebody
because of
bring the
weight, she
crane.
wasn't
We
that
need
big.
that.
No, it's just that she didn't have the muscles. Because
No,
she
I know.
was, a little bit older. She was,
Did they all?
thinnish, but yeah. I'm
You
like,
just
yeah,
need a whole
we
bunch of
should
people
have a
along the edge
ladder.
going, the claw.
Get the claw. But she did come out without her socks. Yeah.
Sock monster in the
It
pit.
ate in the pit. I'm telling you.
Oh my
Socks
gosh.
were gone. She's like, I swear I was wearing them. I know I had them on. I don't. And they're like, yeah, there's probably 1,000 at the bottom of this pit.
I bet there are. Yeah.
The guy says, we'll go
actually-
in, clean it out. We'll get a couple of 100 socks and then we recycle them. And
Yeah,
Like,
that's like the
sell 'em
one
again, you
places that have
assholes.
the ball pits and stuff, and they
Mhm.
literally have a vacuum that sucks all the balls up and then cleans them, and they rebag them and then throw them all back in or whatever. They clean out the pit and find all kinds of crazy things in there.
I'm
so-
sure. Yeah. Can you imagine
Ru-
dropping your phone in there? It's
Oh my gosh, it's gone. Yeah.
dive
definitely.
in head first. You can make it to the bottom. Just swim.
The only thing I always think, anytime I see a ball pit, the only thing that pops into my head is Big Bang Theory with Sheldon Cooper and Leonard. He's just
Bazinga.
popping up. Bazinga! Like, by far one of my favorite scenes from that episode, or just the series itself.
Yeah.
Ruby came running up to me though at one point, and she was like, "Papa," I saved somebody from the pit, the foam pit. And I'm like, "What?" I was there playing, and I looked down, and there were legs in the air kicking back and forth, and someone had gotten stuck head first in the pit, and I helped him out. And I was like, "Well, way to go, hero!"
Yeah. Saved a life.
Exactly.
Can you imagine being that kid though? I mean,
Right?
you're like, I thought this was a good idea. I have learned my lesson. I could not turn right side up. I'm done. Nobody can hear me because the foam, of course, kills all sound. And
Or
yeah.
mom and dad are there, they're like, "Have you seen little Johnny anywhere?" "Oh,
Mhm.
he's got to be somewhere back there." You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
time goes by. "Oh, he must really be having fun." The whole time he's
Yes.
just stuck in the foam pit. you
Yeah,
know, like,
right.
"How was your time?" "I was stuck the whole
I've not
time."
moved. I've been in one spot trying to get out. And I wouldn't blame parents that don't go looking for them. Like I was pretty much a helicopter parent for a long time. They would call it a hummingbird. Well, just coming out, check in, everything good. Okay, I'm going back. Nah, that was more like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Anxiety, man. It was a thing. But I could absolutely tell that's the time when so many parents, especially most of them look like they do it full time, get a break. Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
go run. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to doom scroll on my phone. One lady had a book and I was just like, yeah, this is prime parenting in my opinion. because they are out with a bunch of other kids. They could get hurt, but I mean, honestly, they're not going to get, well, it could break a
Well,
bone,
and
I
there's
guess.
attendance throughout the whole area
Yeah, it's
too.
all taken
So
care of. They're all
yeah,
watched. There's rules, and they're really as safe as they're going to be.
yeah.
And that's
I
your
felt
job.
good about it because there was like they have whistles. So if there's something that goes on, like they blow whistles, almost like being at like a pool or whatever with lifeguards. And I kept hearing the whistle go. I'm like, all right, cool. I know that they're being watched over if they're blowing the whistle every once in a while.
Yeah,
So you know that's
yeah.
going to be a regular thing. But
That's your moment. Take that.
the other part of it too is Corey had gone the last time to this place, and she was like, the chairs there suck. They're awful. They're just hard plastic. Hour and a half, 2 hours of sitting there. That's just awful. So she was like, I'm going to bring my camping chair the next time I go. So we did. I took camping chairs for me and my buddy to sit in. And we were just super comfortable the entire time, like just having a great old time, conversation wise. And just everybody else was like, enjoy your plastic seat. Yeah. No, thank you. So, but I mean, that's honestly, it works really well. Plus, it gives open for other people to be able to use the chairs or whatnot too. But they had like
Yeah.
benches too, like over by certain areas, so parents could sit and watch their kid if they were going to travel around. And I saw that and I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to just camp right here. We're good.
And
that's
it's really important too. We talk about it, I think, every year that your kids need that physical activity. They need to get out.
yeah.
They need to get doing things. And the important thing that I think I see a lot of parents miss is that, yes, so do I. So do we need to get out there and be making, and granted, I think I would love jumping on the trampolines. I think.
Yeah.
I also think that I'm old and I shouldn't do it. And there's a chance that I'm going to slide through something. I'm going to be the person that ends up underneath the trampoline somehow because I'm just not graceful,
Yeah.
But-
Well, speaking of sliding, that's another cool place here in town is Slide
yeah.
City. There's a few of those around. I think the first one opened up in St. Louis or something like that. But yeah, like we've got passes to go check that out at some point. That was a Christmas present from my parents. And that looks very interesting. Like they actually have adult nights there where 18 and over type of deal. And I was like, that's pretty wild. I was like, I told the kids, I was like, yeah, when we do that, I was like, I will probably come and be a part of that. It just sounds like a lot of fun trying out a bunch of different slides.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and
absolutely.
for the most part, you're sliding and then going into a foam pit or something along those lines. That'll be really cool to just see how that all plays out. But yeah, that's another
Like dry water slides.
Yeah. Well, you get a mat that's like slick or something like
Yeah.
that to like slide on. So you're not just using
Yeah.
your own clothes, which I think is great too, because then it doesn't scratch up the slides and everything. But yeah, so that's another on the agenda of things to do type of deal.
Awesome.
I will say for little kids, maybe you got that kid that, they're not walking like that. We'll say newborn to, I don't know, 1.5 maybe. Dude, that's like prime time. Strap them in a stroller and go walk the mall, man, or something along those lines. Like somewhere where you've got the ability to keep moving and
Yeah. Put them in a sling. That was my favorite. It's a sling.
or
I
that.
love
Yeah,
my
there you
sling.
go. You don't
mean,
need a weighted
granted-
jacket. You got a baby.
That's right.
Or weighted vest.
A weighted vest. And it loves you most of the time.
Yeah. To
Yeah.
keep you nice and warm.
Well, and we've talked about it before. Really, anything you enjoy doing as much as possible, take your baby with you.
Yeah.
If you like
Mhm.
doing this thing, your baby needs to experience this with you and understand it. And I thought about we were talking earlier about sports and watching our favorite teams and what have you. And we would sit around and watch women's soccer mostly. And then when Atlanta United just erupted,
Yeah.
we actually, went and saw a live game and sitting there with the kids and just having the kids just like looking at Lizzie, and she was, I don't know, maybe 3, 4. She was barely talking. She was talking, but she was not. She was in diapers, whatever. And we would say, "Go Atlanta," and she'd be like, "Go Atlanta," and I'm like, "All right, okay, that's pretty cute right there. I like that. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that." But having your kids experience that with you when you're doing things that are physical. Granted, you're not going to go wrestling. I mean, okay, yeah, I get it, but moving in whatever way you do it, whatever you're used to.
Yeah.
Taking them to the gym is way more difficult, of course, and it's really,
Yes.
it's possible people do it, but it's not I wouldn't feel safe. If
No.
somebody dropped a weight, my baby can't move. So, even in a car seat, but having it at home, doing that, I'm just going to do free weights while you watch me or whatever. Or I feel fairly strongly that you've seen the Tank Tolman videos. He's like the Viking cosplayer. And Hammer. No, you should
Nope.
check out Tank Tolman. But he was doing basically burpees in his, I would assume, garage. It's a high ceiling place. And had his kid in a swing, right? And he would bring her back and let her swing back. And when she came back towards him, he would drop down, do a push up, and then jump back up as she passed him on the way back. And she was loving it. I mean, and you see him now, and those kids have got to be, I would say preteens by now, where he's got like a pull-up bar on the wall. It's mounted on the wall. It's not like one of the cheap ones. It's well made. It's going to hold a lot of weight. And they have the exercise bands wrapped around it, the strap ones, and they're bouncing on it like on a bouncer, like when you're a kid. But they're like, I would say 8 or 10 or something. So they're, but that's what they do. And I'm like, that physical activity that gift that you've given to your kids is amazing, and that joy of moving as opposed to the need to exercise or the need to compete.
Yeah.
I think that's an incredibly important thing, because enjoying what you're doing is much more important. And that's much more likely to give you that long-term, lifetime habit
Yeah.
of, this is what I do. I ride bikes, or, I exercise in this way. And that's what you do because you love it. And I
Yeah.
love seeing him because he definitely instills that in other people. He's an incredible human being, very strong, teaching people how to be motivated by basically, he'll say I would think he's cosplaying as a Viking. And
Pretty
it's
much.
great. It's great. He really does it very sincerely. And I mean, he talks to you and you believe that he wants you to succeed. He wants you to be healthy. So
Yeah. No, that's
not to
cool.
run off on too much of a diatribe of that, but working out with your kids is the point. Having that, they're there. I need to work out. Well, go ahead. You're right there with your kid. If you have you have something at home other than free weights, if you have, a machine or a Bowflex or
Well, you can
whatever.
even just use their car seat, man, or their car carrier and do lifts with
like a kettlebell.
Exactly, like a kettlebell. And I'm sure
Baby
that
kettlebell.
that
it's out
little
there.
kid is gonna giggle like crazy. Like that's
Yep.
definitely. You could do the whole like pull them up. It's a large kettlebell. You can do a lot of things with it. So
Yeah, and even body work. Just doing your, just body weight. And we've seen so many people with, especially dads, with a kid on their back as they're doing push-ups.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And stuff like that, and doing, lying on the floor and doing presses with them. This is just what your kid is for when they're smaller.
Yeah,
but under
those are
50
definitely all
pounds,
fun things for sure.
After that, it gets a little more difficult. No more curls.
Yeah, no more curls at that point.
God,
that's when
I
you
wish
just
I
let
could
'em-
still curl 50 pounds. I miss.
That's
that.
when you latch them onto your leg and you try to walk that way to strengthen your leg.
Yeah.
One leg one way,
weights.
one leg the other way.
Yeah, and they love it. They love
Yep.
it. And again, just engaging at their level, bringing them into your hobbies, all your hobbies that are, they're safe for them, obviously, and in the winter especially, because you need it, I need it, we need it as much as our kids do.
Definitely. Yeah, I was just thinking too, another one that I like doing in the wintertime is going bowling. And now too, when you go bowling, the nice part is that you can either use bumpers, or there's also like the guided thing where you set the ball up there and then the kids can just push it off type of deal. And those kind of little like aids are just what make it fun. Because I mean, like, what kid doesn't like to just run up and just push something heavy off and see what happens?
Yeah.
They're like cats.
Right.
Yeah.
They are. Their whole life, they're like cats, in fact, especially as teenagers.
So that's another fun one to do. Plus, too, you can, kind of see what they think. So maybe you've got a Wii at home and you've been playing bowling on there. And then you get the opportunity to actually take them out and go do some bowling. Roller skating is another big one that I think not a lot of places have it. I feel like it's definitely a dying breed, but
it's the big birthday party place here.
Is it?
Throughout the fall and winter, it's Skate City down in Wisconsin Rapids. So it's
okay.
30 minutes away or so, but that's where everybody goes. I had our 12-year-olds here, or 13-year-old here, and people were like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Oh, we don't have to go to Skate City every time. Come on, do it in the house. We're gonna do sleepovers, but it's great and it's so nostalgic for me. I didn't go a lot. I don't know how to skate, I have never been able to figure out how to do it. And yeah, well, we'll see. That's on my list, but it's a very long list. It's near the
My
bottom.
mom and dad actually met at a roller skating rink back
Nice.
when they were teenagers. So
Oh,
yeah, so we've had one time there were like two roller skating rinks in our town, and then now there's just one, but it was definitely the place to go to have a
hmm.
party.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a whole lot else to do in that small town. So,
Right.
but they
We
had New Year's Eve like lock-ins, where you'd basically roller skate from 6 p.m. to 6
Yeah.
a.m. and then your
All
parents
night
would come pick
long.
you up. Yeah, exactly. Just that was going on, or they had, races and, roller skating races, that kind of stuff.
We had an ice skating rink, which was closest to
Really?
us.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Which it was, of
Well,
course, in Georgia. It's a very different situation, but it was inside a mall, basically. It
oh
was
yeah,
called,
we had one of those
it's,
in the mall. Yeah.
yeah, it's called Park Air Mall, and it used to be an airport. So, and it was called Park Air. So they just kept for the mall name, and the center was an ice skating rink, basically. And
Yeah.
I went once that I remember because it was money and we didn't have money. But I went once and I got out and I remember very clearly slipping, blacking out, hearing
Oh,
someone help me up, and ending up on the bench. And finally, my vision came back.
oh my
And
gosh.
I don't remember how I felt or how that affected me, but I do remember my mom going, "We need to go home now." You
Oh
know,
gosh.
yeah, okay. Because I mean, I beamed my head, but fortunately,
Nothing like
yeah,
getting in a concussion for going
so
ice skating. You didn't
right,
even get to play
yeah,
hockey to do it.
didn't even do anything. Right, right.
Jeez. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about the 1970s malls that had the ice rinks in the center type of deal, like right by the
It was
food
so cool.
court,
Yeah.
like that,
Uh
like
huh.
any movie that you pretty much see from that era, that anytime they go to the mall, if it's, there's usually a shot somewhere in the background, there's an ice skating rink. It
Hmm.
feels, yeah, I definitely cut my teeth at the ice skating rink at the mall.
Yeah.
Uh,
And finding those types of things now, I think, for our kids during the winter is very important. And granted, I don't really miss the mall. I just feel like I didn't have the, you know, experience that a lot of people did. Okay, we don't have a mall anymore. It's no big deal.
Oh, you mean you
Um,
didn't get the experience of just going into Hot Topic or Spencer stores and like doing your first shoplifting? Like,
no,
I feel like every
no.
high school
I
kid
was
that
a
I went.
poor kid. I shoplifted by the time I was 8. What are you talking about? I remember
Sorry, parents.
specifically the
Earmuffs
pocket
for the
knife I
kids there on that
stole.
one.
Yeah. No, not as a teenager. No,
Oh
no.
my
By the
gosh.
time I was a teenager too, my faux autism had really shows up as a sense of justice. So
Uh-huh.
stealing things was something I could not have done. I did
Sure.
steal a little pocket knife when I was a kid, and it, I mean, it wrecked me.
Oh no.
My mom was not going to trust me. She was we were going, we were done, but it took her about a week and a half where she got over it. And she made me go back down to the store
Oh yes.
and tell the guy and hand him the pocket knife and tell him I was sorry and all that. And I will say that really set well with who I wanted to be as a person.
Yeah.
At that point, but yeah, I could absolutely believe that 90% of the theft that starts out is teenagers just wanting to, I like this shirt. I want to see if I can steal it.
No.
Okay.
It was never t-shirts. It was always little trinkety things like the little keychains that were just like
Mhm.
hanging up because there's hundreds of them. Yeah, and it was like, oop, it fell into my pocket, and then they walk out. Like that. Like I.
I love the little faux English accent you got there. Oh, it fell into my pocket. I can see just like little
I'm sorry, I turned into a little bit of a leprechaun
Victorian
right
age.
there.
Oh yeah, that's even better. I know it's a magic trinket. It fell in. And look, it walked into my pack. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know how this
Anyway,
got into here, police officer. What's going?
yeah, we both need to get out more.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think
Just a
that.
little loopy this morning.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I mean, I think that, there's something to be said about finding those things to do to get out so that you don't be just in a place where you're like, I'm stagnant, I'm isolated in this
Hmm.
situation when there is definitely places to go and things to do. And yeah, strapping your kid to yourself if they're little is perfect. I think that too, if you've got a kiddo that's just learning how to walk, being able to take them somewhere where they can, get some mileage in.
Yeah.
Even taking them to like the public library, and they got, kids different kid things like reading, and maybe they got a play area, that kind of stuff, so they can interact with other kids, that kind of those are all really important places to definitely go to. And I feel like there's more and more programs like that starting to like be available, and that's one of those places where yes, you might find more moms are going to be there, but it's definitely a good thing to get the dads in there, because
Yeah,
there are already probably dads there, and them seeing that another dad can show up to it is always a bonus.
absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Show up for your fellow dads. Come on, get out there.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
that mom break, whatever it might be. Show up.
Oh, so I was gonna bring this up real quick. This is funny in that conversation I was having with my friend yesterday. Like I said, he's a new dad, and I was talking about all the different things that like we've taught Hezekiah and Ruby over the years to be able to do, and just how self-sufficient they are with a lot of just different responsibilities around the house. And he, this is what he said. You're gonna laugh. He goes, "So did you just know all that stuff? Like you just that was something that you just kind of had?" And I'm like,
Yes, of
"Oh,
course.
you, sir, you, oh, precious." I'm like,
My sweet
"No."
summer child. No.
Yes. I'm like, "Oh, Lord." I was like, I love that you would think that's the case. I don't know why, but that's you're not the only one that has that thought. And I don't know why that thought comes into new dads every time. Like, they just had it and I don't. It's no,
Right.
none
No.
of us had it. None of us did.
No.
It's just like the manual for the baby. It was left in the mom. There is no true manual for fatherhood.
No.
You might get a few examples depending on how you were raised, but for the most part, it is fake it till you make it, and it is
Mhm.
a day-to-day scenario.
It's
And
just
I
a
was just like,
fight.
yeah.
A
And I
learning
told him, I
process.
said, listen, I was like, I created the Cincinnati Dads group. I started connecting all these dads together. I started sitting down with them and hanging out and seeing how they did things. And I would pick and choose. Oh, like, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I want to ask questions about how that is doable type of thing, and just gleaning off of these other dads. And I said, that's what is the thing that a lot of dads who are like, oh, I don't need a dad's group, or I don't need to be around other people. It's like, you're missing out on a key thing here, which is the fact that you are definitely like, if you think you know everything about fatherhood, write a book. But
Yeah.
to be honest, like, none of us walk into this knowing what's going on. I mean, whether it was like, oh, I'm a father because things happened, or if it's like, hey, we were planning this and like now I'm a father, regardless of those two things, the same thing is, oh crap, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's a delightful learning lesson every single freaking day. And I will say I've been very humbled and flattered by some of the things that other people have told me. I mentioned to someone just out of the blue, I said, I just want you to know, I really know you're doing really good with your child about this and that. I've just seen, and I know how much work and effort that is. And they said, well, that means a lot coming from you. And that's very flattering, very humbling. And I'm like, I don't know why you would say that. Granted, I have more like hours in, let's say, because I do have 4 kids, so I just had more opportunities. But realistically, I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. And you mentioned writing a book. I'm like, man, I don't think, because I want to write a book. I am writing a book, but it's not going to be about fatherhood because I don't think I'm the authority at all. I think it's just
I
like
mean,
guessing.
put into this perspective. I mean, Shannon Carpenter wrote a book, The Ultimate Stay-at-Home Dad Guide, but he didn't do it by himself. He had to interview like 60 dads to get the content to make that book. And I
Yeah,
think he would be the first one to tell you there's no way I would have been able to come up with all of these things on my own. Like, it took a village
right,
to to do that.
right.
Yes, he's definitely got the mastermind to put it all together, compile it, that kind of thing. But yeah, when it comes to fatherhood and that whole side of things, one, I guess you'd have to be just like really cocky to be able, these are all the things you need to know. I don't know. But at the same time, too, it's like you've got to talk to other dads to be able to
Confidence
get
of an
this
average
figured
white
out.
man.
Just white? Oh, come on. I think it's a conference of a man in general, to be honest.
It's a meme, but okay.
Okay, I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
But
Nonetheless.
yeah, nonetheless, yeah.
Yeah. There's just no, there's no way. Nobody knows what they're doing, and nobody did it on their own. I can't imagine. I don't think I could write down even all of the tips and tricks and wisdom that I've been given. You know,
Yeah,
like
probably not.
I could get maybe 15 or 20 in, and I'm like, no, look, everything I do was learned from someone else, or at least affected by someone else's parenting. You know,
Yeah.
this is not something and it's very interesting that you say that men run into that problem, because that's the thing women run into all the time. Well, you're a mom now. You obviously know how to do all the things. You know how to take care of the child. You know how to do diapers. You know
Right.
how to cook and clean. And I don't want to fault any parent in any way, but I've never met anybody that just knew. You know, they was, oh, I know all the things. Cool. And even the ones that like know how to change diapers, cook and clean, there's way more to raising kids than that, right? So it's
Yeah.
impressive, I think. But it's interesting that you find men saying that too.
Well,
I think
so
it's good to know.
I know that you're not a sports ball guy,
Mhm.
but do you know the name Jason Kelsey?
Yes.
Okay, so Travis and Jason Kelsey, they
Taylor
have
Swift.
That's Travis. He's
Okay, that's
he's
Travis
engaged.
Kelce. Okay.
Yeah, so that's Jason's brother.
Okay, then no,
Um,
I don't know Jason, but yeah.
So Jason played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Travis played for the Kansas City Chiefs. They both played for University of Cincinnati prior to that. But Jason's wife, Kelsey, after the guy started up a podcast, she started up a podcast. They have 4 girls, and she started up the Not Gonna Lie podcast, and she's just straightforward about everything when it comes to motherhood and just
Yeah.
and just life in general or whatever. But yeah, she's straight up like she doesn't take any crap from anybody. I will tell you, if you're hearing this and you're like for the first time just hearing that there's a podcast like this, just know that it is not meant, it's not something to listen to outright. You want headphones on, because the amount of swearing that goes on, like you would think that Kylie was a sailor. She's she doesn't hold back at all, but it's super entertaining. But man, yeah, she definitely brings the mom perspective when it comes to
What's it called?
her podcast is called Not Gonna Lie with
Not gonna lie.
Kelsey.
Okay.
Yeah, with Kylie Kelsey. And so she's just, she's a Philadelphia girl. They very a little rough around the edges. She's definitely easy
The
on
word is real.
real. There it is.
Real is the word, and I don't like using such colloquial phrases. Okay, but she's real. The reality of what it means to be a parent. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think it matters where you come from. I think everybody should have that ability. But yeah, you're definitely right. Philadelphia is a bit more outspoken, and good for them.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
So anyway, yeah, when we were talking about it, and that's the thing with, like you said, not being able to write down all the things that you've kind of picked up fatherhood wise. They jump into your brain at different times though, like when you're having conversations with somebody or you see something, you're like, oh, I remember so and so talking about this or whatever, that however that kind of comes about, but prior to that you weren't even thinking closely to any of that type of deal.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it, to be honest, is it's the information is there, the knowledge is there, it just gets pulled out at certain times. So,
yeah, like, why are Band-Aids so important? What? You gotta have Band-Aid. You gotta have a lot of Band-Aids. Why? And my kid doesn't fall down. My kid doesn't. No, it's not for when they get hurt. It's actually just to make them feel better because.
Yep.
But yeah, and
It's
I
a
still
sticker
carry
for your skin.
all that crap with me. And my kids, I don't think they need Band-Aids anymore. They need like super glue for the stuff they hit. They gotta get something that's going to be a wide open, a Band-Aid going to help. But yeah, I carry all that stuff. And I think that's just, again, I never would have considered if someone had told me you need to make sure you're carrying Band-Aids, snacks, and some water. What? Okay, I'll try. Nah, don't try. Don't go out without those things. You must have these things because your kid will die.
Right.
They think they'll die. I'm so hungry. It's been 37 minutes. Just calm down. And they can't. Give them a snack, give them some water. They're good.
Yep.
Little
Exactly.
things. Never would have known it. Yeah. Had no idea what I was doing. Just wing it.
Hey, I think that, like we said, it comes down to gleaning from other people and learning those things. So I think that, for this year, for, dads, if they're like in a place where they're trying to figure that out, I mean, there's community out there to be had to definitely get a crowdsourced
Come on out to our Discord page.
Exactly.
I
That's
said
one of the
page
spots.
like an old man to our Discord.
Wait, is
Sir.
that a paper page? Is that what that is?
I got to put it in my Ditto machine and make you a copy.
Oh
my
my
what
goodness.
now? Yeah, a Ditto machine, cheese and crackers.
Oh Lord, let me put your
Forgive
number
us,
in
we're
my
from the 1900s.
let me put your number in my Rolodex if I need to get in touch with you.
Holy crap! Wow.
I'll get the
Wow.
card catalog out. We use the Dewey Decimal System to keep everybody in place. Oh goodness. Okay, we're getting too old here now. I feel like
Mhm.
going backwards.
I gotta go stretch.
I know, right? Oh gosh. But anyway, so hopefully that helps give some ideas for things to do in these cold winter months, and hopefully they go by quickly and we get back into the warmth. But that'll be a few months away. So
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
stay warm out there, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.